Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addicted makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multichromes, blush, highlight, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter. And today, I think we're finally going to get into the Nomad Bosque Nuboso. Hold on now. I had this earlier. Bosque Nuboso de Monteverde. So the cloud forest in Monteverde, Costa Rica. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me. We're getting into it right now. Okay, and if you haven't seen, it comes with this super cute packaging which has like the little cutouts in it, and that corresponds to the animals on the actual like palette itself, which I think is pretty cool. And I love the like super colorful like tropical vibe of this. And then when you open it up, of course you do get a mirror, which I won't blind you with, theoretically. And then you get this really beautiful color story. 6 shimmers and everything else is mattes, which I think is awesome. And the mattes are like super bright, vibrant, interesting colors. So I'm tempted to really just like F my face up with this palette, but let's see what we can do to kind of dive into this. I'm going to zoom you guys in, put on some eye primer, and then we're just going to get to work. We'll see how well I actually keep in focus, because when I get like nice and tight like this, I tend to just like drop right out of the frame. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is recreate this image that I saw from Make Me Up Miss, who's this, is she British? Scottish? I'm not sure, I'm terrible at accents, but she had this really cool look here. But I kind of want to try to do something similar to this and utilize like a bunch of different colors in the palette. I'm sure this is going to go south very quickly, and I'm going to want to just like wipe all this off, but we'll try. So this is see, in my mind it's not looking as horrible as it looks when I look at the viewfinder. When I look at the viewfinder, it's like, oh sweetheart, is this your first day using makeup ever? And this is what you're going with? Like, it definitely gives me the you don't know what the hell you're doing vibe. But I'm hoping at some point this all comes together and it looks like an actual decent eye look, but we'll see. See, this one area right here is being kind of patchy, and I don't know if that's because I didn't get enough primer there. Like, if it bunched up too much over here, I'm not sure. It's very annoying. So I'm just trying to fix that. And I don't really care if that stuff gets blended because we're going to put shimmers over top of it. Alright, now are we ready for shimmers? God, I hope so. Okay, so after significant internal turmoil, I think what I'm going to use is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. This is the shade Fair 00. It's basically a white, and it's that like super matte concealer that they had that I sometimes use as an eyeshadow base. Can you guys tell I'm not the most adept cut crease person? Because I sure can. Alright, so we've got that white base down. And then let's pick up some shimmers. Okay, so I'm going to go to River Trail first, which is kind of this like aqua, blue, purple, blurple kind of color. And I'm just going to throw that like right here. Let me get some glitter primer down actually. Definitely one side looks a little bit more pigmented than the other side now, so that's a delight. Try this again. There we go. And then I'm going to go into Wildlife Wonderland. Let me spray that one. Oh my gosh. Now I'm going to go into Magical Mist. Yeah, I definitely should have used a glitter glue, because that would make these look a lot more intense than what they're looking. Let's try. Why is this not looking so good? Okay, then we're going to go into Green Mountain. And the last one is going to be Cloud Canopy. Kind of like that. So let me do that on the other eye and then I'll be back. So now this is kind of what we have going on, and I basically have a gradient of all the shimmers except for one on the lid. I have all the mattes gradiented out across the upper portion here. I'm going to get a, do I want to use a gel liner or do I want to use a water activated liner? I kind of want to use this liner. I haven't used this one yet. This is from Milk Cosmetics. It's one of their from the Amore Mariposas collection. They had a liner. So this is actually a, what is this? A Jerry Q round 3/0 brush. This is actually an artist brush. This is not even like a makeup brush. This is Amazon special. And I'm going to go into this Colibri shade, which is just this really beautiful like teal. Basically, I think it will go nice with the rest of the eye look that we're building here. Okay, and so I basically just like defined that line. I do the same thing on the other side. So I need to draw on a winged liner. I'm going to do that next. Okay, so now I'm going to do the lower lash line, and I think I'm going to take the brown to start with on the outer corner here. And I'm going to fade that into the darker green. And then I'm going to match it up with the last shade, literally the last shade in the palette I haven't used yet. Which is called Hanging Bridges. And it's this really cool kind of like pukey green with a pinkish shift in it. Like that. Okay. Now I've literally used every single shade in that palette, which is just absolutely excessive. Obsessive? Excessive? Bit of both. Let me get some liner and mascara, lashes on. Might do a couple crystals, we'll see. I'll be right back. And so this is the finished look. What I decided to do was go back and actually underline the melt liner with a NYX white liquid liner. So I did that. I added some lashes. My lower waterline is a NYX liner as well. It's one of their Pastel Dreams liners. Oh, I'm sorry, it's an LA Girl one in the shade Magic Mint. It's kind of this like funky chartreuse. And then I added some like loose, allegedly eye safe glitter in the lower inner corner with glitter glue. Being mindful not to get it into my actual like tear ducts, but kind of in that lower inner corner just to give a little extra jazz, since everything was kind of like meeting up there and then it was kind of empty space. Could also put like some jewels or something, but I just was feeling lazy. And then I threw on my lashes, which God only knows what these are anymore. They've been around for ages. And then I put a little bit more of that like blue shimmer right under the brow bone. So everything is like super, super colorful at this point. So the owner of Nomad Cosmetics was nice enough to gift me some of the glosses, so I really do appreciate that she was kind enough to do that. And I think I'm going to put one of the glosses with this, but I'm not sure which one. Like, I don't think I want the pink or the purple because it'll probably be a little bit too much. I'll probably do this one because it's the like most tame color. And this is the one in Miel, M-I-E-L, and this came out with the Fête de Provence palette. Yeah, that looks really pretty. Just like a lot of like sheen, some sparkle. There's a little sparkle when you look close up. Are these scented? I'm a little congested at the moment, so I can't really tell, but I get this like vanilla smell kind of flavor when I close my mouth, so I think they might be scented. Regardless, I actually kind of don't hate this eye look. I know it's really extra. And I'm going to put on some blush and highlighter real quick. I'm going to use this Revolution one that I picked up at TJ Maxx because Teresa is Dead was talking nonstop about this face palette. She said it was the only good part of the entire collection, and I could not find it at my Ulta or anything like as I was looking around, and then I stumbled across it at TJ Maxx, so why not? The blush is definitely really, really pinky. It's pretty. Yeah, it definitely adds like some good color. It's definitely very buildable because you don't get too much on your brush all at once. So that's kind of nice. And I'm going to blush up my nose because I'm going to do a little bit of faux freckles here in just a moment. And highlight. I used to watch these, the Simpsons, like, Halloween movies when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, they had me so worked up. Oh, that has like a nice iridescent pink shift to it too. There you go. Okay, and some freckles. Everybody likes freckles. Lord, that's loud. Got a couple carried away freckles, but that's alright. Okay. Get a little setting spray. Alright, you guys, and this is the finished look. Like, we finally got somewhere, okay? I do apologize for my voice being like super smoky cabaret kind of voice right now, but I'm just getting over an upper respiratory infection. Thankfully not COVID, at least not this time. But I was able to use every single shade in the palette, so let's talk about the palette. Overall, I think this is a really beautiful color story. I would say if you're going to get it, I would be getting it because you like the mattes. The mattes are really intense and pigmented. Like, obviously you can see I got a really beautiful gradient of these mattes. They do work much more like a pressed pigment, so you're going to want to like pat and smudge rather than trying to blend like big windshield wipery blending motions, because that's going to get you a really patchy appearance to these colors, in my opinion. So I would like pat and smudge to kind of get you where you want to go. As far as the shimmers, I do think they're really pretty. These two seem to act a little bit more like a topper for me, so they're in the inner like portion of the eye here, and I just think they don't have as much intensity on the lid as they do in the pan. Now, I also literally put them through like the most reckless stress test that you could put an eyeshadow through by trying to put 18 eyeshadows on my eyes at the exact same time, with a concealer, with a glitter glue, with a primer. Like, we just went to the max. So I don't know if I want to use a setting spray. So I don't know if I was a little bit more like gentle with that, if it would have potentially like come out a little bit more pigmented, because when you swatch them, like, they do swatch really nicely. Like, you do get a good amount of pigment. So I think it might just be the combination of how many like dozens of eyeshadows I was trying to put on at the same time. But I think overall this is a really beautiful color story. There's the swatches of those two, so you can see this one still looks a little toppery to me, but this one is a little bit more vibrant. I love this shade. Oh, love it, love it, love it. I think if you're interested in the like brights portion of this palette, it's going to be a really great one for your money. There's a ton of people out there with discount codes, so if there's a creator that you like to support, you can definitely use that. I don't think they get a kickback off those codes. I think it's just for the brand to like track to see who's like sending people their way. I'm not really sure. I usually use Batty Bean's code because she's such a sweetheart. But yeah, I think this came out pretty nice. I love the mattes in here. The shimmers are decent. I think also I would have liked a little bit more variety in the shimmers, but I can understand why they picked the shimmers they did, because there's very subtle nuances to each shimmer that makes them a little bit more special. For example, this one is like an olivey green, but it has this really strong like pink shimmery pigment in it. And then this one is like a really grungy, like almost mossy green brown, but it has like blue shimmer in it. Like, it's such a cool color. So I think all the colors themselves are cool, but you definitely have like a lot of greens and nothing else. I have a ton of their other palettes though, so I'm not super worked up about that, but if you're somebody who feels a little bit constrained by that, that's something to just be aware of, because really the only shimmer that's not green is this one. Alright, And with that being said, you're going to have to let me know in a comment down below, what do you think of this look? I personally think it came out okay. Okay, and with that being said, that is everything for this video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. You're going to have to let me know in a comment down below, what do you think of the look? Personally, I think it came out okay. It kind of came together at the end because the beginning and the middle were looking a little bit, I don't know, a little scary. But I did think it came out okay. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much to Nomad for rushing my palette off to me and sending me some lip glosses as well. I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to catch you guys in my next video. Bye.